The Supplier. Go ahead and fuck with it.
The basement with the Hittas is in full effect right now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nikki Lynn.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy DJ D Wiz, Mr. Low Key himself.
Hey, it's DJ Marcus Moolah, aka Moolah Go Crazy.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy DJ Key Product.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy Jay Wait, man.
Tap in, cause it's real serious.
Yo, what it do?
Yeah, we here.
We back.
Yeah, we back.
Second day in a row.
Yeah, on a special edition of the basement.
Exactly.
With the Hittas.
Exactly. Special edition.
It's your boy DJ D Wiz.
I am DJ Key Product,
I am Jay Wood.
and we are 3/5 of the Hittas.
3/5 of the Hittas, man.
Right.
Yeah.
We down too.
We got a special brother in the house, man. We ain't seen him since Splash
Jam.
Yeah, Splash Jam.
So
Yep.
Splash Jam. Man, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, I go by the name of Kendrick Watson. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee,
Okay.
Shelby County.
Man, clap.
What's up?
Yeah. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, we got Memphis Tennessee up in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Man, you wrote this book right here, man. The true life of Kendrick Watson.
Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah.
All right.
Very interesting book too, man.
Very.
Did you get a chance to dialogue in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Man, so I gotta ask you, what inspired you to make this book?
Well, I mean, it was always destined that I was gonna write that my life was a book, but I think that I had went through a situation with the criminal justice system down there in Shelby County. I was incarcerated on an illegal sentence, and while sitting there fighting my case, man, it was so deep, and I was jotting down so many notes and stuff like that. So what I did, I was keeping up with everything that happened to me during my legal process,
Right.
and the things that I got a chance to see that there was police, prosecutors, and judges working off camera, behind the scenes,
Yeah.
trying to build a big case against me, So I was, for me to jot these things down and collect the evidence that I could before I could start accusing these people of doing this type of stuff, because it's like slandering. And I just made it into a book. I just took my childhood, the things that I went through in my childhood, and caught it up to what I went through with the legal system, and there you got ice.
Man, this is great. This is great because most people would say, like, man, if I could write a book about my life,
Yeah.
like, man, they'll say how many pages it will go.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, so, but sometimes they'll just be joking. You actually wrote a book on, like, your life. It ain't just about you being in the system. It was just
About my whole life,
the whole
like
life.
everything coming up, my rights, my wrongs,
Yeah.
my good, everyththing that I went through that I can think of coming along up to date. I wrote about it, and I mean, I think I got a good project. I think I got something that the younger generation can be inspired on, because being an African American growing up in a situation to where the advantage was against us as an African American, I believe that this book is detailed enough to inspire other young black brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's not a racist book, but I know that me being an African American, what I went through, and I know everybody has a story.
Yeah.
It's just how you able to format it. And I'm not like a rapper or nothing. I was just able to put mine on paper and make a book about it.
So was it like hard starting off writing? Because I know you say you was destined, but like did it start off?
When when it was originally prophesied that I would write a book, I didn't see it.
Right.
I knew I can speak, but I didn't think that I can take it and go back that far and bring interesting points of my life out to make it flow. From like 3, 8, 9, 10. It takes a lot of skill, and it takes a lot of thinking to even go back that far to be able to do what I did to write this book. Even when I got to the legal part of the book, it's very detailed, and I've got everything like word for word what was happening in the courtroom.
Okay.
Okay. So Like, how long did it take you to put this book together?
Maybe 3 months, something like that. Once I realized that after my court proceedings was over with, I took the notes from that and I just started writing, like I said, about my childhood.
Right.
And I caught it up to what got me to that point
Mm-hmm.
to even deal with the legal system in the first place.
Right.
Right.
So it was kind of easy. And it was just interesting that I was able to pull out important parts of my childhood
Yeah.
and made it flow.
Yeah.
And then they come with exposing things that I did, whether right or wrong.
Right.
But I had to be careful with that also, but to make the book great, but being honest about the things that I went through coming up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I was able to write.
Go ahead, Jay.
All right, so I read some of the book, and you mentioned in the beginning that you grew up in a small town in Mississippi.
Yeah, Rosedale, Mississippi. Yeah, I did. Right.
Yeah. And then you was like your mom, she did whatever she could to keep a roof over your
Yeah,
head.
that's a fact. She did.
Even letting y'all's house be used.
Our house was used for prostitution house. She
Oh,
did
man.
whatever she
That
did.
was crazy to me. Like when I read that part,
Right.
like
At that point, I was like, what?
I can't believe that I'm able to go back. That's in the 80s.
Right.
I was able
right,
to go
you was
back.
born in 1980,
In
right?
1980, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was like us staying in Rosedale. We left there like in the late 80s. So this happened in the 80s for me to be able to go back and once I wrote that and I let my mom read it,
Yeah.
she's like, "How you remember that?" But I told her, "Mama, I remember everything. I processed it, and I didn't know that it was, men paying for sexual favors at the time. But I knew we had to go next door and spend the night. And I look at the house and look through the window and everybody partying and
Yeah.
things that young kids don't do. I was able to memorize that in my mind, and then
Wasn't that traumatizing though?
I mean, yeah, it takes an effect. I mean, your upbringing is how you sometimes your outcome today. It can be a positive, negative, but it did. It made me a little freaky too. I wanted to try, so it affected me. And so I wanted to see, I wanted to party too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it affected me. Like I started off kind of early, lose my virginity real early. But yeah, it would mess with a little kid that's supposed to be playing with G.I. Joes and stuff.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play with the Barbie doll, jump on see how the Barbie,
Yeah.
So, it did change. It was traumatizing, but it worked out. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Man, so you also said this in the story that when you was young, like you was searching for a job, so you couldn't really get one of them real jobs. I want to know about this. You said that you filled up a garbage bag with pecans.
Yeah, in Mississippi, like I said, it was still the 80s. I didn't really know too much about slavery, but we was still chopping cotton, and you could go out to these pecans field with a bunch of pecan trees, and you fill up a bag, and man, that's forever. I'm talking about they got these big sack bags, and you had to go in and it'd be hot, and then as you pick the pecans up, at the end of the day, you go get them weighed, and you get paid off that. You see what I'm saying? Off the weight.
Wow.
So my pay may be $2, but I've been out there 8-10 hours.
Wow.
But I was cool. I go give me a pack of 9 like some Skittles or something. I was straight. You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
it was hot. It was rough.
I'm about to say, man, the way I don't think you would get some water bottles off of just $2 like that, man.
Nah, it wasn't no water bottles back then, but it was rough. I mean, but we had to do what we had to do to make ends meet.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I get that.
Man, so with you telling this story, how important do you feel like it is for like men my age? Because I'm 22.
Right.
So how important do you feel like it is for us as black men to learn?
I feel like, we the minority, and it's like laws that to me they were set for the minority, for you know, for the black, brown. I feel like with me, I don't like to put all my trust into one person, meaning the lawyer. You know, even though I'm paying you, how you know? Okay, if I'm accused of a crime, and I'm saying I didn't do it, but you got the state saying I did do it, how can you really defend me? How do you really know the truth? So with that mindset, I know my truth. So I took it upon myself to go and read and learn the way law works, because it's a different language. You know, you can take one word that means this in the hood, but it means another way in law. So once I went and learned their language, and I knew I was fairly mistreated on my case. That's how I was able to get out and sue the city of Memphis for the $15 million I'm suing them for. Because I knew that the picture that they painted against me, it wasn't true. So it put me in a position to where I was able to, like I said, read. And I feel like anybody who at some point in life, you're gonna go through some part of the system. Whether it's through civil matter, family member, somebody's gonna go through it. And I think it's just important for us to read up on our own case. I just think it's just important, man.
Man, we was talking about this yesterday, actually. You know, it is a trap for us black folks and the brown folks too. It's a trap.
It's a major trap.
You know, because we was talking about like the violence that goes on in our community
and stuff that's happening here,
and how they purposely plant drugs and guns and all that in our communities, banking on somebody falling for the trap.
That's correct.
You know, and so we do have to educate ourselves on the legal system, the prison system, in order to, you know, keep from falling for the trap.
The funny thing about what you said is so true, because that's what happened to me. Like, I had a police officer that didn't like me. He couldn't really catch me. He couldn't break me financially. So he incorporated other people and made me be bigger than who I was alleged to be. And once they bought into it, and they seen the lifestyle that I was living, they went by any measure that they could. They even went inside of my phone records and turned my text messages.
They was
tampering with my evidence, and
yeah.
they got caught doing that.
Right.
And instead of the state doing the right thing, dropping the case, but they tell me to let a jury decide if it's real or fake. How they know now here I am providing a real version of the text message.
Right.
You know, if I provide a real, if I provide something that the state knows is fake, that's another charge, right?
Right. Right.
But they never charged me.
Right.
Because they knew I caught them with the text message that was criminal.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm showing them an innocent conversation between me and another person, and they locked this person up also, saying we had conversations we didn't have.
Right. Wow.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And the judge knowing about this, but covering his eye, turning the blind eye to justice. That's where you get the front of that book from. That's where you see the front of that book, and he's covering his eye because the justice is supposed to be equal. But he tilted the scale of justice, and like I say, but I was letting them know I see everything you doing. So that's why I created ICE, the image. Like, even though I couldn't say nothing at the time, because I knew they would have held me in contempt. But I'm letting you know, man, I see what you're doing.
Exactly.
And it's not right. Y'all using the legal system for y'all own personal benefits to commit criminal acts.
And some of it is biased too, you know, against blacks.
Very biased.
And you know, the black and brown community. Man.
And it's like programming, like they program white people and everybody else who ain't black to fear black people.
That's correct.
You know, right off the bat. So when you see a black man, he's automatically guilty. He could be like the nicest dude in the world, minding his own business, trying to provide for his family. But because he black,
you got this certain inference about him.
That's correct.
Without really knowing him.
Right.
You know. Man,
so let's go ahead and take this music break right here. We got Protagonist with Shy City Blues. We'll be right back with more music, more topics right here up on Underground Hittas Radio, the basement.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
That's right, that's right. We back on a special edition of The Basement with the Hittas, and we having a great conversation with Kendrick Watson. Yes. We're talking about the criminal justice system. So, going through the legal process that you were going through, what was some of the corruption that you saw firsthand?
Well, what I seen, like I went to jail originally because I had to take it back a little bit to show you how I was able to come up with the corruption.
Okay.
I went to jail for a white-tap case. So that means that the officers, I had some officers that was investigating me, and they sold me to a judge like, oh, this dude, one of the biggest drug dealers, he big, people
Like
intimidated from your kingpin status.
Yeah.
And judge, we need to get inside his phone because physically, he know when we watching him, and we can't use undercover buys, we can't use informers. He able to snake those things out. So what they did was the judge gave them the green light to illegally monitor my phone.
So they didn't have a warrant then?
At the time, and I was able to find that out later.
Okay.
So they was illegally monitoring me for a long time. Then they got a legal warrant, and a legal warrant only give them 30 days to listen to the phone. Right. But they get from this day, long as it's 30 days. But they have to get the judge 10-day reports, like, judge, this is his progress every 10 days. But in the process of the affidavit that they used to get a legal warrant, they said that I had took a picture of one of the officer tag and texted to some of my homeboys saying, y'all need to watch out for this vehicle. So my question to the state was, you using information that's coming out of my phone, asking the judge for a legal warrant, how would you know what I texted out of my phone if you weren't already on my phone? Right. That was a nail breaker. And when the judge realized I trapped the state up, and that can prove that the white tie was illegal, the judge took the case over. He will set felonious court dates, trial dates, and before you go to trial, you have preliminary procedures you go through, like suppressing the evidence, identification hearing, things like that. So I wanted to suppress the evidence, but I wanted the officer to speak about how he knew I took a picture of his tag. Instead of the judge doing what was right, he would have the officer to show up, but the judge would control the courtroom like me and my lawyer was causing the delay in the court proceedings. Knew I couldn't talk, and knew that he can bully the lawyer, and the judge would go on record and lie like, well, you know, the officer already testified to everything that you saying. He had started lying like we had a hearing where the officer testified to the evidence that I was accusing them of fabricating on my phone. And my lawyer would be like, judge, you know we never had a hearing where officer testified to any of this. And he exploded on the lawyer, trying to make the lawyer stand down.
So he was pretty much caught right then.
He was caught, and inside my book, if you read, I have examples that happened on dates where the judge going back and forth with my lawyer, and to prove what I'm saying was true, I took the transcript and made them into a link. So if you look at my book, you'll see a link where you can find online, see the actual transcript of the judge showing that he was being prejudiced in my court proceedings. So what he did, the judge knew that the first case was bogus. He had me locked away on maximum security where I had no access to the jail phones. So in the process of me on maximum security, I got someone to bring me a cell phone in there. The judge knew the whole time I had the phone. Because they were still monitoring my family phone from the street. And the judge heard me and my sister calling him corrupt and things like that. So he built a second case against me while I was coming to court on the first case. I'm not knowing he was listening to me on the contraband cell phone. So what he would do would throw me off throw me off a year at a time, like we going to trial. But he was waiting for me to say something else illegal on the jail, on the contraband phone. So what he did was he allowed another additional wiretap, which never been heard of. He signed a warrant for them to monitor the contraband phone. But then he came
burner phone.
A burner phone.
Yeah, the burner.
But this way he made the most critical mistake in right here. He had my sister incarcerated, which was one of my helpers as far as trying to expose the corruption that was going on. Nothing illegal. She's never been involved in nothing illegal. Never been to jail before. Never had a speeding ticket. And they had me and her text message changed around. So I might one time I text say good morning sis. She text me back none what up. They text me good morning sis, none what up. You should get them drugs in the morning. I just dropped it out. not knowing my sister had a
See,
Google.
that's
Not-
I don't
Right,
like
they
that,
were tampering. They were
Not,
tampering.
not knowing my sister had a Google bag up.
Right.
That when her text message come to her phone, it go to her Gmail account.
Right.
So her version and they version. That's what we got.
Right,
We got this evidence today. It's all online.
Right.
But yet and still, they drop her case and tell me go to trial with fake text message. That's how Shelby County get down. That's how, and that's just one of the many things that we have fabricated as far as my case. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that these judges was pulling favors.
Right.
I mean, I'm presenting, I'm filing the motions. Look, judge, this is what the officer doing. The judge basically, look, they can do. He turned a blind eye to justice. And this a black judge did this.
What?
If you read this is a black man doing this to me. This is a black man.
Hey, it be our own that be doing us in too.
The cover of the book.
Now you getting the cover. Now you seeing
right. So
now
it
y'all
makes
getting
sense.
the cover.
It makes sense now.
As I break it down to you,
Right.
now you see the cover of why I wrote how I was able to design the cover of the book.
And you know why he doing that? He doing that just to
Just to up his career, just for his career. He's slaying his own people.
Right, and show out in front of them
Just
white
in
folks.
front of the white people, just to boost his career. That's exactly what he did. And people just like, I mean, it's crazy because it's there. The evidence right here. And I'm still fighting to get a conviction overturned, but I'm suing them. And where I'm at now in the lawsuit stage is they don't want me to question these officers in a thing they call a deposition hearing.
Yeah.
That's where I can get the officer in a room like this, get a
answer
stenographer,
questions.
and I can go
Right,
wild
give them
on
like a lie detector
right,
test
and
or
see,
something, yeah.
they know these officers can't answer the questions. And I'm pretty sure the officers going to implicate prosecutors and judges, you know, because them officers just didn't go rogue like that and didn't worry about no repercussion behind their action.
Right. See, it's a code amongst them too. You know, that blue wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Blue wall, like,
And it's the same code that we have in the streets. You know, no snitching.
No snitching, correct.
Yeah.
Whistleblower on their end,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going through. So I felt like it was important for me to travel city to city and tell my story and enlighten other brothers and, you know, brown, white, you know, and let them know that I feel you don't know nobody else. There be really some innocent people in them systems, but they can paint a picture. And if you don't have the right support system, man, you just get deep sixed in them jails. And it can take years of appeals because they'll drag it out. When they ain't around, they'll drag them out.
And it's like not only that, it's a lot of innocent people on death row.
On death row.
On death row, yep.
That's
Didn't
true.
do nothing. And they're on death row.
And these judges and prosecutors are not here being held accountable for their actions.
At all.
They're covering for each other.
At all.
They protected by immunity. They can easily say, oh, I made a mistake.
Right.
But here you in did 15, 20 years on death row.
And that right. And
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And sometimes, you know, they actually go through with the death.
The death,
you know?
right.
So you losing your life for nothing.
It's a crooked game. You know, it's a lot of crooked people.
That's the key word. It's a game. It's a game.
It's a game. That's correct. It's funny. It's got to be a game. It's just it's a political collusion. What I call it.
Yeah.
You know.
Collusion.
Collusion because that word is powerful and important.
Yeah.
In the legal system.
Yeah.
But and that's how I was able to go in there and learn my case front to back, and I basically taught my lawyers how to defend me. You know, like, look, my see these, present these, do these, and to this day, me and my lawyer have a great relationship. He know I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior. You know, if I believe in something, I stand on it.
Right.
You know, I fear no man. So if I feel like the judge bogus, I'm gonna call him out on it.
Yep.
You know.
Right.
And believe me, I wrote the judge and sent him a copy of the book and told him how I felt about him and signed his copy too.
Man.
You know, that's how I feel. You know, nothing bigger than God.
Absolutely.
You know,
Exactly.
they came knocking on my door. I didn't knock on theirs. They came bothering me.
Right.
And they didn't know how I was going to take back.
Right.
You know, I don't have to lay down.
Right.
You know, so I feel like instead of me doing something physical and causing myself more time by trying to do something, I just put inside a book.
Absolutely.
And spread my word.
You know, prison is like the modern day slavery.
It's
Big business.
It's big business,
But it's
yeah.
also the modern day slavery. And for what you went through, like that, man, that pissed me off.
And it's critical. And the thing about it is, no one's calling me out saying I'm lying.
Right.
I mean, it's different. No one's saying he's lying. No, they know I'm telling the truth.
Exactly.
It's basically like how far and what I'm gonna do about it.
Right.
Because they have so many favors, even in federal court. you know, they can make phone calls and they have certain judges that think like them. But it's basically like how you complain on every stage. But they making behind the scene phone calls, trying to place it to where they can shut it down. You see what I'm saying? But I'm continually fighting because I do that much research on the judge. It's like if a judge get one of my cases, I do research, and 9 times out of 10, he was once a prosecutor or involved with these guys I'm dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So it's not. I'm not gonna say all judges, all police, and all prosecutors corrupt, because that won't be true. Because I'm basically campaigning now for the lady who running for DA now. So I'm not saying that the system is just all corrupt. I'm just saying it's a lot of people,
It's a lot of
and
people.
and they holding these positions, and that's important because we losing loved ones.
Right,
You know?
And it's like, but it's making the good ones look bad too, because
That's correct.
the good ones, they really, I mean, they are in a position, but sometimes they're not in a position to speak up.
They don't want to speak up because they
Because
have
they're
no
afraid.
code.
A lot of them are afraid
Right.
of retaliation.
It's a
So-
fear.
so-
It's a fear.
Yeah.
And they'll really blackball them. Because
Exactly.
they call them
Right.
whistleblowers. So they're like me, they saying, oh, he a criminal, he just talking, he guilty, but for one of theirs saying that I'm right, oh man, you could.
That's it. Your career is over.
You're
It's
done.
over.
You're
Your
done.
career is over.
You're done. So that's how deep this my case go. Like big like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just something about integrity, though. Like, to not, be afraid to speak up.
That's the thing.
What-
With the blue wall, bro. Like,
I know.
when you speak up against somebody that you a co-worker with, they'll find ways to make sure that you're not employed either.
Listen,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
You can't. Well, you can. You can try, but you can't really go to war with the system.
You can't.
You just can't.
Your only best hope is you appeal it, hoping that you'll find someone with enough integrity to say this ain't right.
Right.
You know, and if you don't do that, it just be like you just made a complaint and it goes
And it
away.
goes under the
So could you imagine if I'm proven right, how many cases about to get overturned behind who else this judge, prosecutor, and police did this too? That's what they're afraid of. They know I'm right.
Yeah.
It's just to prove that I'm right, so many people would be packing the courtrooms like he did this to me, he did this to me.
Yeah.
These are thousands and thousands of cases.
And we talking the system is big. You
Yeah.
know, it's big, and we talk because they pull the media into it sometimes too.
That's right.
You know, and they put out these lies on people, to get people to buy into the lie.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So
It's like I said, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game.
it is.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Man, let's go ahead and take another music break, and we'll be right back with some more music, more topics for y'all, man. All right, let's go and get it.
Yes, sir, and we back. We back.
Yeah, we back.
Man, look, we are having a compelling conversation.
Yes.
About
Yes.
this crooked judicial system, just the system in general, man. And I'm really feeling this, Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling
I appreciate it.
A lot of people. I really hope somebody learns something from this interview.
Right.
And it makes you want to go out there and learn about the law, and learn about your rights,
Right.
and educate yourself.
It's important. It's very important. And just like when I was coming up, we had to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
And I mean, French stuff that really don't, affect our community.
Right.
Man, we need to learn about law.
Law.
Yeah.
It's important because, like I said, it's a different language, and it's more bigger than what I'm saying. Those guys got so many symbols and signals in them courtrooms, and a lot of times the lawyers are big part of the problem.
Yeah.
They'll snatch your money. They'll, they can know it's wrong.
Yeah.
But he buddied with the prosecutors. They swapping favors.
Right.
You
Quid
know,
pro quo.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You give me him, I do this. And they play with our lives like that. We become like cattle or something. You know what I'm saying? We got that number, and they just pushing us and moving us just like we just another number in the state. That's it.
But that's what it is. You are just another number.
Right.
You are cattle because you're not your name anymore. You're just that number that's on the
number.
back of your
That's
You
correct.
property of the
jumpsuit.
state.
That's right.
Right. You're property of the state.
That's
You
right.
really are.
Yeah.
And so they've been playing chess for so long. And we just been playing checkers.
That's correct.
So, hey, we got to start playing chess.
And they good at it. I mean, it been like, ain't it strange, anything that you can do, they have it already in a book up under a code.
Yeah.
Saying that, I ain't picking on you. I'm not a racist. Read code CO3B. It says
for the state. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And these folks have us figured out inside of a book.
Yeah.
They have pre-planned our life and put it inside of a code in a book.
Yep.
To where we have no defense mechanism. But the thing about it, they're not gonna do nobody white the way they do black or brown. It's not gonna happen. Statistically, the judge that I'm faced off against, he's a black judge, and I'm not a racist. I'm just stating facts.
Right.
And he's attacking his own people. His biggest conviction rate is hurting his own people.
So let me ask you, why do you think there's an attack on just black folks in general, in your opinion?
Our ignorance, sometimes our own lack of knowledge, our own ignorance. We can't see. This is what I don't like to do. I don't like to say the white man did it. I'm not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person that we are some of the most smartest people, but sometimes we lack the knowledge. We just do
like
ignorant
taking
things.
accountability.
Yeah, we don't never take accountability. Like if I did something, I did it. You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't do it, I'm not gonna say the white man did. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
But I'm not gonna let no other color, nobody, no gender, nothing, tell me and mislead me like I'm stupid when I'm reading what you read. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we don't read.
Right.
We just don't hold accountability.
I was just about to say we don't
read.
We don't read. So they putting it in the books and they know we're not gonna pick it up. And
this
read
book will go, and this book don't reach nobody until 20 years from now. That's crazy. This book don't do. And it's crazy because it's all there. Yeah. It's there telling you these are the pros and cons of what's going on because I was a victim.
Right.
Could you imagine me sitting in jail 6.5 years for a crime I didn't commit? Man, how I was treated so harshly. Yeah. But I was able to stay sane and, keep my sanity. You understand what I'm saying?
How did you do that?
My prayer, a lot of prayer, I stressed a lot, but as I got a chance to know my God and learn and do a lot of fasting, that I couldn't control the situation. I'm not a person that's going to harm myself. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I knew one day, I said, you know what? I'm going to make sure I stick the word to myself. I'm going to be heard. Yeah. And that's what I did. I've always stuck praising, man, one day when I get out, man, they're going to feel me when I get out. And that's what I did. I got straight out and went full throttle. Mm-hmm. I didn't stop. I put my book on ice for a minute and made sure I got myself financially okay so I can bag my book. Yeah. And I went at it. And I knew that I was going to eventually rub people the right way because somebody has somebody going through this. Yeah. Or they're going to go through it.
Right.
It's a broken system.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why, God allowed this to happen to you so you can be like a foot soldier.
Right. For an advocate for others, too.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And be the voice for others.
Right.
Right.
And I embrace it. I accept the calling God gave to me.
Yeah.
And, I'm here to talk about it. Like I said, it wasn't easy, but I was able to get in there and do my punishment. You know what I'm saying? And I just made a negative into a positive.
Yeah, right.
I didn't let it drive me crazy. I just stayed humble.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I knew if I could make it up out of there, I was gonna let my voice be heard.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And the thing is, it's like the system doesn't want to admit that when it's wrong.
No.
Right.
So that's why all the cover up was happening.
Yeah, they're not
behind the scenes.
That's correct.
Because they feel like, okay, if we tell the people that we was wrong on this, how many times they gonna question us on other cases that
and not only the system, you got to think. I'm suing the city.
Yeah.
I'm saying the city paid these road cops to do this. In the city, that's what's hurting them. They don't want to admit that the city of Memphis taking grant money and taking money, and they went wrong. It ain't about these officers. They can care less about them. It's proven that the city had full knowledge of these officers' action while they was on paid time. They didn't do this in their personal clothes. They did this. They was getting paid to go in the phone records, change evidence, plant evidence in cars, and falsify federal documents, things that I've discussed in my book. They was getting paid. I was sold to someone higher that was willing to
the highest bidder.
Yeah, pay them to do whatever it takes to get me convicted.
Yeah.
Because it was designed for me to never get out of jail.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't have made sense for me to be in jail for some ghost marijuana. So they had to just give me a stiff sentence and give me a percentage to earn my way out. Like, okay, you accept your punishment, we're going to parole you out. But I paroled out to a legal sentence.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is illegal.
Right.
It's nothing that they can show factual that I'm lying. And like I say, I'm cutting dry. I sued them. They don't even want to come to court. They trying to find a way to get it through out of court because they don't want me to question these officers.
They gonna drag it out too. They gonna drag it out for years.
Well, they end up. Well, this is how I was able to put them in a good trick bag.
Okay.
My sister and girlfriend sued them prior.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I did was I allowed their proceedings to go through, and then I knew that they was gonna find a federal judge that was gonna do something not right.
Yeah.
And they did.
Okay.
And he tried to find a way to dismiss it.
Right.
So then they provided me the evidence that they was using on their case. They provided it to me. And what I did was I knew that this judge couldn't touch my lawsuit. So I sued right behind it. So because in his lawsuit he already said that I was guilty. I mean in their case.
Right.
He was already biased against me, knowing he was lying. But I knew that he couldn't touch me no more.
Right.
So I was put in the courtroom where the judge was pretty fair from what I'm told.
Okay.
So now I don't even need their evidence, so they won't drag it out. Now I just want strictly depositions.
Okay.
So to get them to speed the process up is I don't want no evidence from y'all. I already got the evidence. Y'all never give me the real evidence.
Right.
Now I want to just question the officer how they created the evidence.
Yep.
So and then the officer can't keep ducking me.
Yep.
So now what I can do is if they keep stringing me along, I can set my own deposition date.
Yep.
So if they don't show up, now they're in default. I win lawsuit. So you got to know how to play they same game.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So they know dude pretty sharp.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My attacks are, they think they hear I come this way.
Exactly.
So, but that's how I got them. So we're in the deposition stage now.
Okay.
And once I question the officer, and I
It's
don't,
pretty much over.
it's for sure over with. And they know it because I think there's more people involved. I just don't know
it
about
has to be way more.
Right. So that's how we rolling right now.
Okay.
Man, you also talked about
It's big in our city. It's big. It's probably everywhere, but they got a little buddy system going on around there. You know, they golfing and you know, throwing the Boston teapots together, what I call it. And you know, I don't want no attorney who tells me he cool with a prosecutor. I don't need you.
Oh, they teammates.
Yeah,
then.
I can't do no with
Team.
you. If you tell me you cool, you cool with him, and I don't. What I need you for?
Right.
Cause I might be trying to say your buddy corrupt. You're not gonna go in there and call him corrupt.
You're not gonna go.
So I don't. So I don't. When they do that little strategy, it don't work against me. They might need to use reverse psychology with me. Don't tell me you cool with somebody who trying to give me a life sentence. It don't work like that.
Right.
And they big on it. Oh, we go way back. We work cases together, and they actually work cases together.
Right.
You paying these people tons and tons of thousands of dollars, and they can see a glitch in your case, and won't even do the right thing.
Right.
That's just, hey man, just plead this. Like when they seen my sister and girlfriend at the time, when they seen these women didn't commit no crime, they still like, well, just go on and plead guilty.
Right,
And they were like, what's my role?
Right.
Well, you know, it's just a small role, and it's just small. What's the small role?
Right.
It just never nothing. But they did everything but said they were innocent. They told the police 1129 misdemeanor, diversion. And diversion is if after the year no felon, it'll go away. And alpha plea, meaning we ain't admit we doing nothing wrong and y'all don't admit we did nothing. That was just everything saying y'all ain't do nothing until my sister was like, nah, I'm going to trial. Right. And when they realized that she wasn't none one of the women that you can spook, they weaned out the case and dropped her case.
And that's something a lot of people do. Like when they're hemmed up, a lot of them will plead guilty rather than go to trial, because they afraid of losing the trial and getting all this extra time.
Right.
You know, man.
So, and that's what I did. Because I think I could have beat them, but they took one white tap and spread it and made it 6 cases. So I'm sitting down at 3.5 years fighting one.
Right.
So basically, I'd still be in there fighting cases.
Right.
And I would never been able to be here to tell my story.
Fighting forever.
So I had to do a strategic strategy and okay, I plead guilty, but let me try to come back under a wrongful conviction. So now they can play the well, you had all the evidence, you pled guilty, you should have took it to trial. That's how they playing with my appeal. Exactly. Knowing is right there in your face, but what they'll do is try to use the law and dance around the truth. See, that's important to learn law, because they can deny it but make no sense. So they'll try to find a way to, well, we looked at it, we took it up under consideration, and we denying it but it's evident these folks saying they changed my text message. Right. I mean, what about? And that means if you change my text message, that means you withholding evidence. Exactly. Because I don't have the real version of the text message. Exactly. So how is that? That's cut and dry. Right. But that's the kind of stuff we have in our appeal courts and our judicial system, our so-called judicial system.
That's crazy,
man.
It's that deep.
That's crazy.
Before we get into this real quick music break, I gotta ask you this. What's the one thing that you feel like us as the black community should look out for in the court system?
The treachery of the lawyers. Learn who you. That's the biggest thing. Learn your representation more than anything. Right. Because your lawyer, to get your money, he gonna tell you, I'm gonna do all this, I can do this, and I'm. Right. But once they get your money, they stop caring. Learn their background. And we should have a poll where we can start rating these attorneys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somewhat where you can go and look like the better be in the bureau. Yeah. You can look and you can rate these attorneys. Yeah. If they 5-star and did, because I see a lot of people in Shelby County, this lawyer might get you off on the case. Mm-hmm. And they be like, oh, he real, he good, but yeah, he had to do a favor. Remember I said the buddy system? Right, I give you him, you give him. Right. That don't mean he's always ethical. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And so the answer to your question is, it's important if you in any kind of civil, criminal, whatever, please learn who you hiring to represent you. That's important. That's very important.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take this music break. We'll be right back with some more topics for y'all here on the basement. All right, let's get it. Yeah, on the basement here on Underground Hittas Radio, man. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. We just got into some deep stuff right here.
Man. Yeah.
Man, because we, when we was playing the music, we got into a conversation about the DA.
Right. And district attorney.
I was like, I ain't really doing much of my research on what a DA is. Because, some of us be like, well, I'm not finna get caught up in a system like that and everything. But it was still cool to do my research on it just in case. Yeah. Right. And all that. So, man, you also let me know, like, man, that's the untouchable.
That's untouchable.
Yeah, they're the untouchables, for real.
And that's a powerful position. I've seen DAs get judges prosecuted. Man. So that's like a very powerful position. And they're protected with immunity. They power is like right under the President of the United States. That's how powerful they is. So they can actually go out and commit wrong and be excused for it as a simple mistake.
So, not to mean to cut you off, are they more powerful than the Attorney General?
I mean, the Attorney General basically like the boss of that whole state. Okay. So you got like the district attorney be like powerful over they county. Right. Like for us, like Shelby County. Yeah. This DA I'm talking about, she's over there, like Memphis and all the surrounding. But the Attorney General be like at the state capital, like our state capital is Nashville. So it's like they boss, the Attorney General's office. Okay. So to answer that, then you got the Attorney General or their state bosses, the U.S. Attorney General in D.C. Right. So they all got protocol steps and different kind of letters that they but the district attorney alone is powerful because they are protected up under the Attorney General. It's just all about who you have in office. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of times you're gonna see the police get away with so much. Yeah. Because that DA has the right to prosecute or not. Right. That it's solely up to that DA, that district attorney. Yeah. And we don't pay attention that when these people get in there, we don't know because like the gentleman just said, he know he ain't getting in no trouble, so he never paid attention to that position. But that position powerful. Because if you got somebody who thinking bias, that's in a position to destroy.
Yep.
And they, like I said, they ruled supreme for 8 years. That's a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking at the person in position. You're looking at the person. Like the person who alleged committed the crime. You ain't gonna think the district attorney willing to have the police to plant something on that person.
Right.
You ought to see that on law and order.
Right.
But you can in Shelby County. For sure, you see it in Shelby County.
You know, I never really knew the power that the attorney general had for the state, and even for the country, because you know, the country, you have an attorney general on a national level. You know, so I just never really knew what the position entailed and all that other stuff.
It's very, 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 very powerful, and it's very imperative that we read up on these positions.
Yeah. Because
it can happen to you. Like, if you rub somebody the wrong way, just even out, eating, you can prosecute. I mean, just, if they don't like the way you rub them, they can actually build a case against you and lie.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And who gonna believe you?
Right.
Once it's out there, you trying to prove that you didn't do it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They hold a great deal of power and not being held accountable. And one of my biggest things is my thing was trying to see how we can strip their immunity. See, that immunity, if we can get that immunity, if we can strip their immunity and they be held accountable for their actions, oh man, we'll have a better state, better country.
So now that brings me to my question. Would you want to have a position of office? Like, would you want to run for anything?
Oh,
because I can see that.
Man, if I did, they'll no. No, I want because I'll be fighting against so many people. I'll be fighting against the state and the ones who like the way it already is. You get it? I'll be fighting the state and the lawyers that like the way the system already is because they're making millions of dollars with a corrupt system.
Yeah.
And if the system was correct, the fees wouldn't be high.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it'll take me and a whole bunch of other people. And I'll be the minority in this situation. Because I don't think they want it right. I think they want it broken.
Well, they
they probably do something to me then, because I'm gonna go hard. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go extra
hard. They'll be afraid of you.
You're a radical because it happened to you.
Right.
So you passionate about it.
I'm super passionate.
So maybe if you had maybe another 2, 3, 4 people with you.
With me, yeah, because then I could build my own. And they stand firm like me. Yeah, I can see myself doing, and I can see myself changing a lot.
Yeah.
I want to know I'm coming when I come.
Right.
And they know I'm not coming to play.
Right.
So you got to have everything, all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed. You know what I'm saying? When it come to me. And I think they feel like they're right now. They took me for a joke, took me lightly.
Yeah.
They underestimated my thinking ability.
Exactly.
Because I come to the courtroom, they laughing, thinking it was fun, and not knowing I was building my own case against them the whole time.
Right.
I used to watch the prosecutors and sniggering and grin like it was a joke.
Right.
Now it ain't funny no more.
I think you can do the most damage with what you're doing now.
Right.
Because you somewhat low key.
Right.
But yeah, they don't see you coming.
They don't see me coming.
Yeah.
They don't know how I'm coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the best route.
Man.
You know?
So if not a position in office, what about being someone's lawyer or?
I would most definitely. That's what I think I would want to be. If I can go and do anything politically, it'll be an attorney.
Okay.
I want a firm more like Cochran, but I want to stand strictly for injustice.
Right.
Like I don't want nothing but silver suits for your constitutional rights being violated.
Right.
Things like I'm accusing a state of for falsifying document cases like that.
Yeah.
And I would like to go back and research a whole bunch of cases that's still out there that's been unjust and then bury the evidence. And these people stuck in jail for crimes they didn't commit.
Right.
It'd be more like an Innocent Project program, like the Innocent Project. I heard of that.
Yeah.
But I would only want to represent that, and I would want to go full throttle at whatever DA that I feel like not right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's important.
Very.
And if you stand on the principles, and if you in it for money, you're gonna make that anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
But I mean, we got people lives at stake.
Right.
So if I did have to do it, it'll be being a criminal attorney, civil attorney, fighting for injustice.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Man, you also put on here a brother on here says Humphrey C. Ford.
Right.
Can you tell us about who this is?
That was a friend of mine. He was killed last year. He was kind of like a co-defendant, but he was somebody that was dear to me, a good friend that was tragically gunned down last year. I don't really want to speak a lot on it because I don't know, but I know that I want to keep his memory alive through me, and the best way to do it is through my book, through my message. Like that. I didn't just want to put him on a T-shirt and then I don't wear the T-shirt no more.
Right.
I know that book will be forever, so
absolutely.
You know, he'll still be out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what's up.
You also put on here the definition of Aquarius.
Right.
You was like an Aquarian.
Right. I went into deep thought. You know, I just took me and all my characteristics of an Aquarian, and that's how I classified the Aquarian. And I know I went deep. Yeah. So that's how I was able to describe who I was and my passion about my sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say because I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You're a Scorpion.
No, I'm an Aries.
No, Jay is Aries.
Right. But it's cool that you put all these definitions in the front to like educate people before, because you know a lot of people would just look at all these acronyms and be like, what is this? What does this mean? And then shut it off. Right. Yeah. But you already giving them the information. You know, correct. Like, all right, yeah, you want to know what that is? Read in the front. It'll tell you what it is, and then you can get back to the real story and everything.
It's
so
like a legal dictionary.
Right, legal dictionary.
I did.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, this is what I stopped on this. So I was like, well, hold on, that's what FBI mean.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, some of those terms I didn't know what they were.
Well,
I heard them before, but I just never knew
I ain't
what it
gonna
was.
lie, I knew most of those. Some of them I didn't.
Right.
Like, you put me on
But
game.
you know, I was able to sit down and read, and I had to get in there and learn them for myself. And I knew if I wanted to use them inside the book, I wanted the readers to understand, you know, the definition and the code, you know, because they hide a lot of information in they 3-letter words. So it's important for me to go in and get them 3-letter words and give you what it means, you know.
Exactly.
So it'd be a good read, and you can go like straight through the book and just read.
Man,
because this is a good read. I'm not gonna lie, because when you said that this was the judge on the cover, I was like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be you.
No, it's the judge.
And you was like doing
that's what I thought.
Right, I thought
that's
that.
what I thought. I thought it was you.
Yeah, I thought that
on
too.
the cover.
And then you was like, the judge is black, and then that's when he was like, okay. Man.
So it's a lot of like subliminal,
you
know, because again, we didn't know that was the judge on the cover.
Yeah. What I did was I took because he's a character to me. You know, I'm just keeping it real. You know, I don't take him serious, but the way he do his people. And I want to put it out there that this judge is ruling on his seat today, and I want to bring him to the forefront. Absolutely. So I put him on front of my book, and like I say, I cover one of his eyes because he's supposed to see everything. He's supposed to be a referee in the courtroom.
Right.
Even though he works for the state of Tennessee, if he see wrong, he's supposed to make a righteous, conscious decision. But instead, he closed his eyes and had
turned a blind eye to wrongdoing,
and had other innocent people incarcerated because he was power struck. And I feel like, as an African American judge, it took a lot for you to get that position, and then you get put in a position like that to slay your own people. No, despite of how you personally feel about a person, you take the law and twist it to your own twisted language. To do wrong, I have no respect for you. None whatsoever.
Yeah, them judges, them black, some of the black judges do it, some of the black officers do it.
Yeah.
You know.
What they call them? Uncle Tom?
Uncle Tom.
Yeah, Uncle Tom's,
Uncle Tom,
So,
let's go ahead and get into this music break real quick, man. A lot more to talk to y'all about, man. This is very interesting, very interesting. Let's get back into it. Let's go.
Basement with the Hittas, and we got a special guest in the building, Kendrick Watson. Yes, man.
Yeah.
We having a great conversation, by the way. You know, My question now is, how important is it for everyone to educate themselves, not just with law, but everything that's out here?
I mean, you just never know what type of situation in life you might put yourself in.
Right.
So I feel like reading is very fundamental.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if your brain, like, you read, you process stuff, you start to remember it.
Right.
So if you able to read it, you know if it's right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like, so to me, it's like music. If somebody put out bad music, I mean, you know, like put out music and that may lead you astray.
Yeah.
These kids starting to remember those songs, right? If they say run the red light or shoot at the police, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we know that's wrong.
Right.
But if you read into like, hey, if I do that, this may happen to me. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's important to read the right or wrong, the pros and cons of life, because if you don't, you might go down the path that I went down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like not only as far as criminal, I read everything, whether it's a hood novel, James Patterson, John Grisham. I read everything that I can get my hands on, and I process everything, and I got a negative or a positive, you know, out of it.
Yeah.
And I utilize it every day in my everyday life experience. So I just think it's just very important for us to read.
So let me ask you this, Kendrick. After going through everything that you've been through, have you ever stopped and asked, why me?
Yeah, and the answer came up, why not me?
Man.
Man.
Man. Man.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That,
you know, you go through a situation when you watch your whole life come before you, all your money, cars, businesses just get taken away, stripped from you by the system because they can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, man, why me? Then I go and I pray, and I'm like, you know what, I can do this. And I came up with the answer, why not me? It needed to be me. It needed to be because ain't too many people gonna get out and do what I'm doing.
Wow.
You know, this a big step, and it's a risk, but I'm willing to take that risk because I think I was built for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that for me to go through that, I didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But for me to help other people down the line, why not me? It needed to be me, to be the voice, to be the vessel. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it was meant. It was set out for me to take this journey, to go out and speak for injustice. And I feel like in the end, I'm going to change some things down now.
Have you ever gotten to a point where you almost felt like giving up?
Yes. I'm human. It was at a point to where when I seen them lock my sister up, someone who I know that and my girlfriend, these women have 4 and 5 kids, but never been through nothing. And when I seen the powers that be come and do it to them, I'm like, man, I surrender. Just let them go. Yeah. And like I say, but my God won't allow me to quit. So I prayed, and once I got them situated, got them out on bond and stuff like that, I told them, it's on. Yeah. It's on. Yeah. They done messed up this time.
Yep.
Now they done created a problem.
Yep.
And now, you know, why not me? And look where I'm at now. Look how much I done got accomplished so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I need this to be in some type of school process, like for real.
Yeah. That whole curriculum, like just, you know, law, the curriculum of law just needs to be in school in general.
Well, you know, they're not going to educate, especially in our communities. Right. They're not going to try to educate
our
kids.
I know, but I
own that.
It's the whole knowing that the system did somebody of your color wrong.
Yeah.
And then
I still feel like it should be in school.
Once you get the youth to question the system, then you give them more opportunity to do more research into them.
Well, that's the thing. They're trying to keep us dumbed down. Yeah. Because they have dumbed us down.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So much that it's like we don't too much care. You know, we're just into, you know, just entertainment and just feeling good for the moment.
Right.
And
Being a man. Or having the spotlight.
I mean, just think about this right here. The leaders now is the rappers. Like these guys, and this is important.
Yeah.
They giving these young guys more money than they ever seen. But think about it, back in the day, they wasn't giving those political rappers who was educating no money. Nothing. They would half of them barely making ends meet today. But when they get us where we can corrupt each other's mind, they giving these kids millions of dollars to put poison on the street. And then the littlest thing they do, they come and take it away and lock them up. You get it with the, we got a couple guys right now going through it, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And these guys, career with NBA young boy, Pooh Shiesty, which is out of Memphis. I mean,
now Fredo
you understand what I'm saying? So we'll get just like they did the judge. It's the same thing. We'll make you successful. Just do our dirty work so they won't say we did it.
Right, because they're using the music in order to get inside the minds of these youth.
That's correct.
To get them to do
the
illegal stuff so they can lock them up.
And that's exactly
a lot of them be dry snitching in their songs too.
I mean, they're gonna do that, but the bigger pictures, they still telling them, and these guys really don't be living that life because when you go to jail, it's a different ball game. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not questioning nobody's toughness, but I know I've been in there. So, but the way of words, the power of music, and the way it influence, that's why I say sometimes it be the blind leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they don't want to hear my message, because they're like, you speaking in politics, but I'm speaking the truth.
It's the truth.
Right. It's what people need to hear.
And since I've been speaking, guys won't listen. Now they in jail. Oh, I need to read your book. I need to.
Well, you should have did that the first time.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this is what you're going through, or what you're gonna go through, leading down that direction.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And they don't. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna keep on preaching this sermon because I know I'm on the right track. And I know somebody
gonna
listen. Yeah.
Even if you just reach one person, that one
an
person
amazing job.
You did something.
Right. That one person is gonna reach somebody else, and then before you know it, it'll spread.
It'll spread. That's correct. And that's the mission. That's the mission.
Where can they find this book at?
You can Google it. Amazon, Target, everywhere books are sold online. It's everywhere. It's out there. You can they can find it.
Grab me a copy.
I see everything. The True Life of Kendrick Watson, All Fact No Fiction. You can go to my webpage, KendrickWatsonAuthor.com. You can order it through there. You can reach me on Facebook, Diamond Watson. On Instagram, I am Diamond Watson. It's many ways to get this book. You can go to Amazon and go up on the books and just put in Kendrick Watson and it'll pop straight up. Yeah.
That's crazy. We over here talking about stuff that everybody needs to know about.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Look, we
100%.
Look, they hunting us down.
Yeah, the women don't go through half of the things the male do.
Exactly.
The male, once you take the male out the home,
That's it.
Oh man, the child go astray.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
And a lot of that's what they banking on. They banking on.
So it ain't the women they targeting; it's the black male for sure.
That's
for sure.
You're already born with 2 strikes.
Right.
You a male and you black.
And you black. That's a fact. Like I said, even in my lawsuit, we got it for malicious harassment, and for me being black. They want to do this to no other color, no white. They want to stalk me bad like that.
Of course.
Them guys really was stalking me, and we'll have our day in court. Yeah, about that.
Man, keep fighting the good fight, brother.
Yeah.
Keep fighting the good fight.
So when you was in the prison, like, what was it like? As soon as you sat down, like, how did you, like, kept it going, like, kept the ball rolling for you to stay above water when it came to the court system? Because I know you said you went into the research and you basically was coaching your own attorney.
And if you don't listen to me, I'm firing you out the gate. If you read in that book, I'm firing them. Don't tell me nothing about me, because I know about me.
Right.
And I know what I did and didn't do.
Right.
And that's what the attorneys that I had with feared, like, this dude ain't crazy. This one of them smart niggas there. You know, I'm just keeping it real, yeah.
Exactly.
He ain't crazy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Right.
keeping it real. Like, they wanted to make it seem like I was crazy, but they know this dude here got plenty of sense. I don't want no positive direction. He trying to tell us to go down.
Right.
I want off. And I finally found the attorney, African American, good guy, that stand for what's right, and we still fighting the fight today. So me, I just went in there. I knew that the things that I was accused of, I didn't do it. Right. And I was like, damn, they put too much on me. It's like they threw everything in me but the kitchen sink.
Right.
So that what made me like, man, it's more to this. Let me read into this. Yep. And that's when I figured out that it was all a political collusion.
Absolutely.
It was judges and prosecutors. It was already pre-planned for me to come in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They already had it set up, stage hearings, you know, just stage court. It was just already set up.
So it's like a big theater.
Right. It was theater.
But you know, the hardest thing was convincing people to believe me. They thought I was crazy. Man, I used to walk around there and you couldn't even be in my cellmate without listening to me talk about my case. You gonna learn about white taps if you don't learn about nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Man, I see some of these dudes today, they be, man, they talk just like me. Yeah. But they see now I brought it to light.
Absolutely.
You know, they see me now like, man, you really for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for real about me, you know. And,
right.
Especially when I'm in the right.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's what motivated me, just knowing that, you know, the type of time they was offering me for some ghost marijuana. Like, man, that's ridiculous. Right? It's got to be something that y'all ain't do right to offer me this much time.
Exactly.
And come to find out they was already leaking them onto my phone. Yeah.
Man.
Crazy.
That's crazy, man. We got like 5 minutes left during the show. I just want you to, again, give out like information on where to grab this book and your social media so everybody know where to find you at.
Yeah, you can find the book on Amazon. It's I See Everything, The True Life of Kendrick Watson, All Fact, No Fiction. You just go up on the Amazon, go up on the books, press Kendrick Watson, or you can Google Kendrick Watson, and it'll tell you where all my books are sold online. You can also reach me on Facebook, Diamond Watson. You can reach me on Instagram, I am Diamond Watson, or go to my webpage, KendrickWatsonAuthor.com, and it'll tell you how to purchase the book. But this book is a must read. It teaches you everything about the justice system. It tells you about my childhood coming up, what led me in the direction of the police, what made them form a dislike, hatred, or whatever you call towards me.
Right.
I wasn't always a saint, but I didn't do that much sin to go through the things that I went through, and it teaches you, you know, the difference between right, wrong. It's important for every male, every black male, to read this book. Yeah. All over America, really.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's a way of life, and I put so much detail to where it's a straight read. You can go through it, and I hope that I touch and reach somebody in this book.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Because a lot of people would give up and just say like, man, forget it.
Just throw in the towel, and just.
Because they say once the system got you, you win now.
Right. That's what they say.
Right.
Yeah. It ain't always true. It's kind of, you know, one thing I do know, the scale of justice goes slow when you going against them. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Like, when you trying to prove it.
Yes. Man,
I
Kendrick,
appreciate y'all for having me.
This has been very compelling, man.
Yeah,
and I pray for you. I pray that you keep going.
Right.
And I pray that God continues to, you know, cover you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just pray that they put this in the school. Just slide this
in the school library.
Yeah. It's deep. That'll be deep on it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just slide this in the school system, just like just put it.
Just go ahead and ease it in there.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate the dialogue, man. It means a whole lot.
We have to have these conversations too.
Right.
Hey, with all that being said, it's your boy DJ D Wiz.
I am DJ Key Product.
I'm Jay Wade.
I'm Kendrick Watson, remember? Diamond Watson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Alright, y'all, we'll see y'all again, bro.
We gone.
You got the hottest radio station playing on your stereo right now. For all the latest and exclusive content, hit that undergroundhitters.com. That's undergroundhitters.com. We got it all for the low, homie.